Greetings. We're in the finished mystery. We're now in Revelation chapter 3. This chapter is entitled Wycliffe, Luther, and Russell. And we made the point in the first of these videos that right away, as soon as they get into chapter 3 of Revelation, they leap across the historical problem, which is it's about a church that existed in the first century and beyond, a church in Sardis, and leap to their since abandoned narrative about the seven churches represent 7 ages. So we are now in the 5th age, because it's the 5th church, Sardis. And that age is characterized by the work of one man, John Wycliffe. And we're not going to read much of it, because most of it, well, has just been discarded by the Watchtowerr since. But we will read what they say about Wycliffe's influence.
Yeah.
But first, let's read the 2 verses.
The text they're taking it from. Revelation 3:1-2. And to the angel of the church in Sardis write, the words of him who has the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know your works. You have the reputation of being alive, but you are dead. Wake up and strengthen what remains and is about to die, for I have not found your works complete in the sight of God.
Well, it sounds like a mostly negative review so far, right? And what I think as we work through it over the next couple of segments, we'll see it is a mostly negative review. So it's easy to make the parallel between the Middle Ages, or the pre-Reformation period, and your preferred narrative is that there was nothing really good going on except for a few exceptions, like Peter Waldo, and here John Wycliffe, and then next Martin Luther. But the parallel falls down because, first of all, we're to believe that in the first case, Sardis, despite its negative review, was still Christ's church. He's holding its light. He's walking amidst the lampstands of the 7 churches, no matter how bad they are. They're still his.
It's still called the church.
And at the end, he doesn't say, get out of here, move to Smyrna or Philadelphia, one of the good churches.
He says, strengthen the things that remain.
So we have made a confession. It's really a part testimony and also an analysis of these 7 churches. And at the end, we put a link in to link you to that document, which is on our website, onewonders.org. But first of all, they do say something good here about Wycliffe. I should read it if I can in our limited light. This is on page 46 of the Finished Mystery. And this is a quote, by the way, directly from McClintock and Strong's Cyclopedia, so it is from a reputable source. The quote is, Wycliffe preached unmolested, but the Council of Constance, that's May 5th, 1415, condemned his doctrines, and in 1428 his remains were dug up and burned. The ashes were cast into the adjoining Swift River, that is, which, as Wordsworth poetically remarked, conveyed them through the Avon and the Severn into the sea, and thus disseminated them, that is, Wycliffe's teachings and Bible, all over the world. His doctrines carried into Bohemia, originated the Hussite movement. The New Testament was published about 1378, and the entire Old Testament was completed shortly before his death. Well, that's all true about his enormous influence. Well, what's missing from their preferred narrative here is Wycliffe did not believe what you believe. What he was protesting, and all of the reformers, pretty much all of the famous reformers are in this category. What he was protesting is not the doctrines of the creeds, that is the basic teachings of the church. He was protesting late developments, what you would refer to as new light, such as, well, indulgences at the time of the Reformation, the new doctrine of transubstantiation, and all of this had to do with the centralized authority of the papacy. So he's not in your line. You don't have the same DNA that John Wycliffe and the other reformers had. That's not to say nobody in this period believes some of the things that you believe, if you're a witness. But the famous reformers, like Wycliffe, who had such enormous influence, did not believe what Jehovah's Witnesses
You
teach.
can't really use them to defend yourself, because they don't believe what you believe.
Right. So the big question that we would have to ask ourselves, looking at the right application of these verses about the church in Sardis, or for that matter, the church in Laodicea, which gets no positive praise, as we'll see. Is it a church of Jesus Christ? Is Jesus Christ walking amongst his people, knocking on the door, as it were, in Laodicea, telling the people in Sardis to strengthen that which remains?
Yeah, not abandon a weak church, but strengthen it. So the things that are good in it, build it up and strengthen it.
So if you get a chance, check out that document on our website, because I think it was that period. We tell the story in the document at the beginning. It was that period from around 1990 to 1993 when we were re-examining these 7 churches and looking at Corinthians.
And church changed.
Yeah, we began to see we had the wrong idea about Christ's congregation. We had the idea that we'd inherited from the Watchtowerr, that the wheat is somehow now separated from the weeds.
Yeah, that you're looking for some perfect church somewhere.
Yeah, the futility of looking for the perfect church.
So we'll link to a video about which of the 7 churches would you, as a Jehovah's Witness, attend of the 7 churches in Revelation.
See you next time.